Last year I sold $100,000 in Magic cards. Well, more than $100,000. I net out of that somewhere between 10 to 20 grand. That's what I actually took home, what I pocketed. And then the rest, of course, was used to buy the Magic cards that I sold. I reinvested a lot of that money into other products. Some of those products I still have, some of those products I've now sold. Tax implications, whatever. The point is that I have made good money buying and selling Magic the Gathering cards, but I have not made money on every single transaction that I've done buying and selling Magic the Gathering cards. And this year is similar. I know that I've made good money, that I've net positive overall, but amidst the overall, there are some transactions that are not ideal. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is what kind of speculations and buys I've made recently that are not necessarily panning out, but they might pan out. We're going to see. Hi, my name's Nick. I have a number of new subscribers. I wonder why. Thanks for tuning in. I cover all kinds of MTG finance content on here, and it's fun. It's just a good time. We're here to have a good time. So thanks for tuning in. All right, so let's talk about the first spec per se. And spec might be the wrong word. Stomping Ground had these Outlaws of Thunder Junction play booster boxes for $140 about a week ago. I made a video about it, and then the next day, I think, they raised their price to $165. The reason why they did that is because the price on TCG Player is kind of skyrocketing or booming or whatever. I don't know. Less than a month ago, they're selling for $150. Now they're $165. Have any sold for? Yeah, so some are selling for the $180, although that was yesterday and the day before was a couple. So the sell-through rate is really slowing down. I don't know if people really want these for $180, but that is how the prices jumped up. And what had inspired this was an estimated value calculator. Let me pull it up. Toploaded.io has the estimated value for these, and I know that I know the owner, and I know he doesn't mind me showing off his product on here. So, what are we looking at? Outlaws play booster display, and so you can see here the expected value is quite good. You know, $273.67. Versus the $165 you spend on it. 98% chance of breaking even if you buy for $140 each, which is what I bought for. And so the expected value calculations are good. You scroll down here, and what's cool about tools like this and other estimated value tools is that they have the cards, and then they have the price of those cards, like the top cards, and then what percent of the expected value is that contributing. So for example, we have Mana Drain here, which is a $50+ card, and it's contributing to the expected value $12 of the box's value. That's, I don't know, I guess that's a lot, although out of the, what is the expected value overall? 273, so it's not too much. I guess what the takeaway here is that this box isn't too top heavy. How do we know that that's the takeaway? Well, if this top card was a $150 card and it was 20% of the box's expected value, if you didn't open up that one card when you opened up a box, then you would be missing that 20% of the box's expected value immediately, which would be a bummer. That would be a top heavy set. But Outlaws of Thunder Junction is not too top heavy. If you open up a Mana Drain, that's obviously a huge hit, 50+ bucks. Congratulations. It represents $12 of the expected value. And so if you're not hitting it, it's not like you're losing the majority or a huge chunk of your expected value. You're losing 4.4%. So not too top heavy. This feels like a good box to buy, box to open. So what did I do? I bought a bunch of these. I bought a case from Stomping Grounds. And the premise of this video, the title of this video, you might already know. So my brothers were in town. My brother and I, one of my brothers and I, we busted open a couple of these boxes, 2 of these boxes, and we scanned all the valuable cards. I've done videos about this in the past, but when you're opening up a booster box, what you want to do is open up TCG Player, look at the TCG low prices for the commons, for the uncommons, to get a sense of what cards in this set could be valuable that I might want to make sure that I'm pulling to the side, holding on to. And then the rest of the, then of course you grab all the rares and mythics and keep those. Then you scan everything at the end. I use the TCG Player app to scan. There's other ways to scan too, but that's what I do. And then you get your estimated value of what you get in the box. And of course, some of those rares are worth less than 20 cents or 25 cents or whatever your low price is. But it gives you a good idea of how much value you pulled in your box. Well, in one of the boxes, the box I opened, because I'm not the luckiest box opener, I did open up a Stoneforge Mystic. I think that it's one of the, yeah, check it out. It's one of these top hits, 1 in 200 packs. You can open up this Stoneforge Mystic, which honestly I think is the coolest art of any Stoneforge Mystic. I'm very tempted to keep this card. Don't judge me. But it's on TCG Player right now, so maybe it'll sell. Then I can alleviate myself of that temptation. But anyways, really cool card. I opened that up. My brother opened up Mana Drain because of course he did. In my box, it ended up being about $140 of value, which you might say, oh, Nick, that's great. You broke even. Or you'd say, Nick, that's not great. You broke even. Well, it's worse than that because that's before shipping and fees. Now, shipping, when you sell a card on TCG Player less than $5, it automatically charges the buyer $1.49 or whatever for shipping. So shipping can sometimes get covered depending on the value of the card. But if you sell, a $50 card, then you got to send it with tracking, and that's another, $5-6 shipping. And then there's fees. You can't get around fees. 13%, 14%, around there for fees. So if I sell $140 of cards, after shipping and fees, we can take off 15% just to be like, I don't know, just as to make it a convenient round. 140 times 0.85 to take off that 15%. That's $119. So what I have signed up for, I don't want to sugarcoat this. What I've signed up for, and I guess I can make myself big on the screen. What I've signed up for is I've already spent time and energy opening up the box and sorting the cards. I've now signed up to sell those cards in TCG Player, package them, ship them, and after all is said is done, I will lose $20. Not good, right? And especially if I keep that Stoneforge Mystic, then I would lose more money. So, but investing in the hobby, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, my brother's box, he opened up the Mana Drain. He opened up other good cards. That box ended up having like $170 expected value. Better. But even then, what is $170 times 0.85? 170 times 0.85 is 144.5. So what does that do? That nets me a couple bucks. And it's not quite, like I said, there's some shipping that gets paid for. Fees aren't actually that high. But at the end of the day, we opened up 2 of these boxes, and then we had to look at each other and say, should we open up the other 4? And it's like, maybe not. And I don't blame toploaded.io. I don't blame the other EV trackers, because honestly, they could just be unlucky boxes, or EV trackers are fickle things. And so it's hard to get right what the expected value of things is. It could also be user error. There might be a ton of less common or, uncommon cards that are worth $1. I don't think so, but it's like, maybe I'm missing stuff. Anyways, so it's pretty crazy, to open up 2 booster boxes where you're like, oh yeah, the expected value is so great. This is going to be great. And then it just doesn't work out. The other expected value tracker I use, by the way, is Anon TCG. If you sign up for his Patreon, both of these are paid. You sign up for his Patreon, you get access to his Discord and his expected value tracker thing. I think the Discord's free. The expected value trackers is what you pay for. And the expected value tracker is, both, like, all the expected values for Outlaws of Thunder Junction are really high right now. And that just isn't what I was experiencing when I was opening the cards. So what does that mean? Well, it means that I'm probably just going to list my boxes on TCG Player. And you can see me, you scroll down, if you want to buy from Capital Catalysts at this kind of inflated price. Of course, I'm not the cheapest right now. The cheapest person is selling it for 2 cents below me. And that's really interesting too. Just as a side note, that's not what this video is about, but look at the undercutting, right? It's like I posted mine at the lowest price that was available yesterday. And since then, there's been like almost half a dozen, 4 people that have listed boxes for a cent or 2 cents cheaper to try to hop the line. Is the price going to remain at 180? I don't know. It seems like this price might be inflated for what the product is, which is interesting. Alas. Okay, so one other thing. This video is getting a little longer than I meant it to be. So that was one sealed journey not working out, right? It's like I'm going to need to sell these boxes. Now, to my, if I sell them for 180, it's going to work out for me. I'm going to get my money back and then, make whatever, $5-10 each box. Not bad. Way less work than opening up all the packs and selling the singles. So that works out for me. I got a good deal from Stomping Grounds, and then it's going to work out. But another opportunity was on the Anon TCG sealed expected value tracker was Marvel Jumpstart, Marvel Superheroes Jumpstart. Very high expected value, $300+. And so I'm like, gosh, this is going to be easy. Going to open up one of these boxes, going to open up $300+ cards. Well, open up a box and it was not $300 plus cards. and what's interesting is that when you look at, similarly, kind of like how we just looked at Thunder Junction, the contribution of the top end cards, well, for Marvel Superheroes Jumpstart booster boxes, it is very top heavy. The top 10 cards make up over half of the expected value of the box. So if you don't open up Loki, Lord of Misrule, or the Vision and Scarlet Witch, or Ultron the Annihilator, then you're just not going to get anywhere close to the box's expected value. Very interesting. So I bought 4 of those boxes. I opened up one, and I opened up $100 the singles. And so once again, not panning out the way. I've got 3 others that are on my floor. And there's a question here of, should I open these or should I sit on these boxes? Are they going to reprint Jumpstart and drive these into the ground just like they did for Avatar Jumpstart, just like they did for Foundations Jumpstart? Probably, but also printers have been busy. It's not clear. It is certainly not clear. It is not obvious that opening up and selling Jumpstart booster boxes right now is the right move, or if holding on to them is the right move. I mean, for all I know, the price is already crashed. Let me make sure before I release this video. No, yeah, so you can buy them on TCG Player for $170 right now, which is a little bit of a trace back. Oh, I don't know. They're selling through pretty well. Anyways, so got to share with you a little bit of story time. Just it's hard out there. It's hard. Like I said, I've made good money. A lot of that is from buying collections. A lot of that is from commander decks with solid expected values where you're guaranteed the cards that are worth the money. There's opportunities out there, but it can be hard. It can sometimes you buy stuff and it just doesn't pan out. So anyways, stay strong, friends. Let me know what questions you got, and thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Peace.